Man, that is one good looking plane, isn't it? Hey everybody, I'm Shane, and I'm in the Flight Vector 777 V2. And tonight we're going to be flying this thing back to San Francisco. Last night I flew this from San Francisco to Auckland, which was 12 hours. Not entirely sure what it's going to be today, but we're going to do it. So we're going to do the departure out of Auckland and climb up to cruise. I'll go offline, fly this thing tonight, and maybe tomorrow morning I'll get online early in the morning, California time, to land in San Francisco. But I figured since all I'm doing is showing the departure and the cruise, we're going to go through all the flight planning and all the stuff that I normally do to set up for this stuff. So all I've done so far is put on electrical power on the aircraft, an ADRU, emergency lights are already armed, window heat, and no smoking, seatbelt signs, nav lights, logo lights so we don't need them on, wing lights don't need on, flight deck lighting is good right now. We don't need any of that lighting. EFIS. Alright, now let's go ahead and plan a flight. So I fly for United Virtual Airlines. So this is how I do it. So I log in here. I've only done 6 flights for them so far, but I really like this Virtual Airlines. It's really good. So I go to schedule search. I'm going to go up here to Auckland. And then I'm going to search for 772 and then find flights. There we go. We got 2 options here. We have United 916 and United 3040. And the Zulu time currently is 3:19. So I think we'll take the one that departs at 3:50. So United 3040. So I'm going to add the bid. And then we're going to go ahead and fly this thing. Hey, United 3040. Real quick, before I go, I want to just check something here. All right. So now we got the flight number. Now we're going to go in here to United Airlines, flight 3040, departing from NCAA, going back to San Francisco. We're going to select the 200ER. Cool. Then I'm going to generate the flight. Then I'm going to go to file on the network, copy and paste my little notes. Okay, flight plan is filed. And then I'm also going to go over here to flight plan download. I'm going to go down here to X-Plane 12 download. I take that file and drop it in the FMS plans file of X-Plane 12, and then we're going to press on with weight and balance. So I go over to the EFB. Okay, then I'm going to go over here to external services. I'm going to go Navigraph, get data from SimBrief. go back one, and we're also going to connect the Hoppy thing. It hardly ever works for me, but I'm going to do it anyway. We have that available just in case we want to use CPDLC at any point. After that, I'm going to go back to airplane, click on weight and balance, go over to the, click this button to fill from SimBrief, okay? Then go to loading page, and then you can do slow loading, but I want to hurry here. I want to get it taken off, so I'm going to click simultaneous full load. That loads the passengers, the catering, cargo, and the fuel all at the same time onto the aircraft. Then I go over here to CG summary. CG is 22.1%. I like a CG around a 27. That's what feels good to me with the aircraft. So we've rebalanced the aircraft for a CG of 27%. Round it up to 28%. Okay. Now we can say the weight balance is set. Now we'll go ahead and program the FMC. So I do FMC 1 and 2. Now we'll do inertial position. So we'll go to position initialization. Copy and paste the GPS into the inertial. And that will help align the ADIRU. Now, I click route, and now we're going to type in the FMS plan that I put in into the FMS plans file. So it goes in the company route, AAKSFO01. I drop that in there, check it out. Now we have our flight plan. And it typically populates everything up until the arrival and the approach at San Francisco. So it'll get you all the way to the approach. So what I like to do is I go into SimBrief, okay? I import the flight. Now, this is going to change probably between now and tomorrow. But just in case it doesn't, I'd like to go ahead and get this set up as if we're going to do it. So we'll use the ILS 28 right. From SIDB. That'd be a good place to enter this thing. Enter that. And then I'm going to go back to the aircraft and go SFO arrival. Make sure that the Pirate 3 is in there. Now I'm going to click on ILS 28 right, SIDB transition. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead to my legs page and validate the flight plan. Make sure there's no big errors with it and that it's continuous. And I just click the step button and make sure everything connects and makes sense. A lot of longitude points. Okay. Now we're getting back to San Francisco. All right, so we have a vector here from ARG to SIDB. I want to connect these dots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take SIDB and drop it into vector, and now we have a continuous flight plan. All right, it looks great. I click on route, click activate. The route turns magenta, which means it is an active flight plan. All right, so that's done. So now I'm going to click on performance initialization, and a lot of this is automated. You only need a few things. Most important thing you need here is a zero fuel weight, and I get that from here. So back over to weight and balance. I go to weight summary, and our zero fuel weight here is 377,180. So I'm going to put 377.2. Goes in our gross weight, our fuel's on board. Reserves, I'm going to grab that from my flight plan, so SimBrief OFP. I'm going to use the final reserve plus alternate, which is 11.9. So we'll put that in there, 11.9. Cost index, it's going to be 51. Initial altitude, 350. Cost index 51. Okay, looking good. Thrust limit, I like to do this with SimBrief. I find that it works quickly and easily for me. So I go takeoff performance, turn this to disabled, and hit calculate. So, what's flaps 5, derate takeoff 1, select temperature 31. We're going to put 31 EL1, 100.5 on the N1. I'm going to select climb because this thing's pretty gutless without it. Takeoff, flaps 5. And then we're going to use CG's 28. So now you need to make a choice. You can follow the reference speeds that the AFMC gives you, or you can go by SimBrief. So this is 153, 158, 163. This says 150, 157, 164. These are a little more conservative, so I'm just going to stick with these. Okay. So I like to put legs on my pilot flying side, and then I put takeoff data on the right. So the FMC is now checked and set. At this point, I'm going to log on to VATSIM because we're set up and ready to go, more or less. UAL 3040. We're going to log in. There is some other aircraft here, that's cool. Cool. So let's go ahead and do our final cockpit preparation checklist. Fuel quantity. Check to confirm, 202.1. 202.1 is what our flight plan is calling for. Awesome. Alright. FMC's checked and set. Flight directors. Auto throttle's armed. MCP airspeed we're going to set for V2, which is 164. MCP heading is going to be the runway heading, which I believe is 231. 231, yep. For altitude, I'm going to go ahead and put our cruise altitude since there's no ATC here to tell us otherwise. Altimeters. Grab the weather here. Okay, wind 240 at 18, scattered clouds at 3,300, broken clouds 4,300, ceiling 43, temperature 16, altimeter 998. Set. Okay, auto brakes. RTO. Wixer panel. Wixer plus T, Wixer plus T. Radios. Set for takeoff. 122.8. IFR clearance. Well, we didn't get one today. That's okay. ECAS. We'll use 2,000. Taxi takeoff departure brief. Okay, crew. We are at Auckland, New Zealand, at Terminal 3. We're going to push from the terminal with the tail facing north, no south. And we're going to taxi down Alpha all the way to the runway threshold at Alpha 1. Okay, full length takeoff here on the first 3 Papa departure. And we're on the Agedu transition. So initial climb is 231 to Lengu. Turn left, track 142 to Maglo, max 250 knots. Cross Maglo at above 4,000. Turn left, track 52 via Brook Firth. Cross Brook at above 6,000. Okay? And then Agnew transition from Firth, left turn, track 150. Cleared flight level 250. Expect further clearance to file level D100 Alpha Alpha. Alright, very good. Transition altitude is 13,000 feet. Make sure we have that accounted for. There it is. Okay, there's your brief, crew. Let's go ahead and press forward here. Looking good. Okay, lower MFD. We'll set that to status. Go ahead and turn on the APU now. Doors and windows. Doors. We got the cargo doors and the entry one left. I'm gonna go over here. Airplane doors and close these up. Doors are closed. AP generator on. Wait for the generator to come online. Once we see that AP gen online, we can pull the power card. Okay, AP gen's online. External power is off. Generator control on. Backup generators on. Hydraulic pumps auto and on. Fuel pumps left, right, and center. Cabin temp controls auto. Recirc fans trim air. Packs auto. Isolation valves auto. Bleeds on. Alright, MFD, engine, parking brake, 10. Full chocks, age, menu, airplane, ground service. We're gonna pull it all. Okay, removed. Beacon light on. ACARS. Alright, here we go. Coming up. So, just like UPS VAC, United Virtual uses Smart Cars 3. And there we go. We're ready to go. ACARS is tracking. Oh, she start?
Grounded cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay, I'm gonna get a drink of water because I've been talking like crazy right now. I'm gonna get something to drink here.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
So this flight's gonna be a little bit different for me because I normally use the Pratt & Whitney 4092s, but now we're using the GE 90s on this aircraft. The one thing I want to do is I want to set a button for this transfer right here. Let's do that real quick. Joystick, alpha, flaps up a notch. I don't want that. I want maybe radio. Or VHF. XFR. Ah, I don't want. Don't worry about this another time.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Man, this is a confusing taxiway here. Guess right here?
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, crew, I think we're ready to go.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Awesome. Let's start right engine. Rotation. Fuel on. Okay, got a good light. Fuel flow EGT. Okay. Let's start on right, starting left. Rotation. Fuel on. Good light. Okay, good light on, a good start on one. Have to start checklist. Taxi checklist.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Take off. Trim 5.25. Take off data. V1 150. Rotate 157. V2 164. And our climb speed will be 184. Initial climb speed. Take Top thrust setting is 100.5 and 1. Taxi departure brief, no change. Transponder TARA. Taxi light. Runway turn off lights on. Lower MFD. Light controls, let's do it. Ailerons left.
STO is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left.
Elevator
We'll
up.
see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Down. Better left. Better right. Okay, hand signal will be on the right. Light controls check. Taxi clearance. Hey, yeah, Alpha. Auckland traffic, United 3040 heavy, taxi to runway 23 right via Alpha. Alright, we're ready. Nose of steering. Brakes. Oh yeah. They work almost too good. Hey Continental, sorry I missed you guys in the chat there. I was really focused on this. Yeah, I'm really happy with this aircraft right now. All right, so left turn here. This is Bravo, and then we need to get onto Alpha. Wow, this is a nice airport. The scenery is really good. Hey, 5CG, are you still here? Let me know, because the jetway is actually not part of the scenery, it's part of the plane. So the jetway is part of the flight factor aircraft itself. It's not part of the scenery of the airport. So you don't need any libraries or anything set up for it. If you're using the flight factor one through the EFB, that's going to be entirely from the aircraft software itself. Okay, nose and steering brakes are checked. Before takeoff checklists. Alright, so we're heading back to San Francisco from Auckland, New Zealand. So last night I flew this. I took off from Auckland, from San Francisco, and I flew to Auckland. It was 12 hours. And tonight we're going to fly back to San Francisco. And coincidentally, I had no coordination with this whatsoever. I was flying with another guy who took off right behind me in a 777-300, and he went to Auckland too. We landed 5 minutes apart from each other all night. It was really cool. And we were talking on private messages the whole way. Well, I went to sleep for a bit, but it just so happened we both went to Auckland from San Francisco last night. It was pretty fun. He's in the PMDG 777-300ER. And then obviously I'm doing flight factor. This is a beautiful airport, by the way. If you've never been to this one, it's really nice. Just another awesome X-Plane stock airport that is really good. So actually, I fly primarily cargo for my virtual airlines. I do UPS stuff, and I really want the 777F. That's what I want. I can't personally fly Microsoft Flight Simulator. I can't stand it. I hate it. So I don't. I have the PMDG 777F, but I can't bring myself to fly it. I hate that sim. So I'm just holding out for the 777F from Flight Factor, and I'm going to be pretty happy with that. Hi guys. There's our runway. It's on rails because the whole sim is. It's not PMGD's fault. They're working with the arcade flight sim that's made for a bunch of Xbox pilots, so I understand why it feels that way. Alright, crew. Turn the lights. Wixer. Auckland traffic. United 3040 departing runway 23 right. Alright, crew. We'll take the runway. This will be a static takeoff.
Approaching 23 left.
Much game. I will show you as soon as we take off. Give me a second. Let me get this thing airborne, and I'll go through all my plugins for you. Happy to show you.
On runway 23 left.
Okay, runway heading is 231. Okay. Clock's running. Let's bring the engines up. Alright, stabilized. Brakes release. Set takeoff thrust. Thrust set. Airspeed's alive. In and out's hold. VNAV speed. Wine and cheese, man. Absolutely. Beautiful country. Okay, flaps, speed checks, flaps 1. Speed checks, flaps up. right now. Autopilot's off. Just flying it by hand. Just watching the flight director. Turn coming up. A little bit fast, correcting.
Traffic Auckland, New Zealand 147, Bay 15, pushing back.
Okay, rolling out on course. New turn coming up in a second here. Okay, coming left. Okay, 10,000 feet. I'll turn the autopilot on. Autopilot. Okay, after takeoff checklist, landing gear up. Flaps up. Auto brakes are off. Recall. Good. Exterior lights, landing lights, taxi lights, runway turn off. Okay, we're good. Transition altitude is 13,000 feet. And there's our airport that we took off from down there. Well, it was there. There's clouds now. There it is. Alright, transition altitude. Have to take our checklist complete. Alright, crew, we are cruising. So, let's see. You asked me what plugins I'm using, right? Okay. So I've got Honeycomb. Don't matter with that. Auto GGS gives you marshallers. Shared Flight, because I like to fly with other people sometimes. XP Realistic. X Checklist, which is probably my most important one. OpenSAM, I don't really use it. X Pilot, obviously, for bad sim. Better Pushback for pushing back, gotta have that. Fly with Lua, because I have a few Lua scripts that I like to use. And XRAS, although I have it disabled for this particular aircraft because that's integrated into it already. And Terrain Radar for the aircraft that need it. Those are all my plugins right here. Beautiful country, man. Okay, so one thing I want to go over is our step climbs.
Traffic for New Zealand 147, taxis via Kilo Alpha to the Alpha 1 holding point runway 23.
I've been having a little bit of issues with the step climbs here. I've got auto step climb and all that stuff installed, but it doesn't work particularly well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put them in manually. So if I look at my flight plan here, I got step climb at Ramiz. Let's find that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to manually put this in. Next step climb is going to be at 0990 150, and that's going to be 390. Let me see. 410 at 30, 129. Oh, nope. Alright, that should do it. Okay, crew climbing through flight level 220 for 350. Alright, crew 260 for 350. Oh, okay. I'll tell you how to do custom views. So here's what I do. On my keypad, I turn off the number lock, and then I use my numbers to move the view to where I want, right? And when I have it where I want it, I turn number lock on, and I hit Control and the number pad that I want to assign it to. So how I always do mine is 5 on the keypad is always the pilot position. The pilot position that I define that I want to use, right? Number 7 is always looking out the left window. Number 9 is looking out the right window. Number 8 is the overhead panel. Number 2 is basically a cockpit overview. Number 1 is FMC. Number 3 is center pedestal. When I can be bothered to do them, 4 and 6 are wing views. I just haven't set them up yet. But basically, I'd have to go outside the aircraft and set up the wing views. I haven't done it yet, but on other aircraft, 4 and 6 are my wing views. And 0 is EFB. I've just defined these myself, and then it's a control, and you basically have 10 views that you can use in your cockpit from the number pad. I don't use any special plugins or anything for that, just number pad, see? Number 5, 7, 9, 8, 1, 3, 2, and back to pilot position. My pleasure. Yeah, very easy. So again, turn off number lock on your keyboard, and then you can use the number buttons. So 8 is up, 5 is down, 4 is left, 5 is right, 6 is right. Then if you want to go backwards, you just turn to the right with your mouse and move backwards to the right. Now look at that. You don't need any special plugins for that. You can just do it with your own keyboard. Okay, 300, 5 minutes, 350. Great. All right. Flight level 320. 3,000 to go. Climbing nice and slow. I gotta screenshot this. This guy's a little creepy. Wow. I never looked at the pilots. They're a little weird. Alright, crew, getting near the top. 2,000 to go. Okay, 1,000 to go. Okay, guys, 62 FPS right now. 62 FPS. This thing is so optimized. Really good. Speed VNAV path. Alright, let's let him up. Alright, crew, we are cruising to 350. It's gonna be a long flight. Why the speed's dropping off like this? I gotta fix that. Nope. That doesn't really make sense, does it? Anyway, crew, I think the last thing we're going to do here before I log off, get some sleep, let the backup crew come up, is we're going to do a fuel check at Agadoo to make sure everything's tracking okay. So, if you look at your flight plan, whenever you're flying like this, it's really important that you check your flight plan fuel versus what you're actually burning to make sure you don't have a fuel leak or a gross miscalculation of fuel burning, right? So, at Agadoo, we should have 185,000 pounds of fuel on board when we cross it. Okay. Right now we have 187.5. So let's see what we end up burning when we cross that, and that'll give us a good idea how close our fuel prediction is going to be for the flight. It looks like it might be pretty close. Alright, 25 miles, we'll do that field check, and then we're gonna go ahead and go to bed. FPS, guys. 60 FPS at 4K, guys. That's pretty dang good. Here's my graphics settings, just in case you're curious. And I'm quite happy with all these. Alright, crew, coming up on our first fuel check at Agadu. Flight plan shows we should be at 185.4. Let's see what we end up with. Oh man, this thing's off like dead on. So we should have 185.4, and we're gonna cross it with about 186. So we're right on fuel burn target, which is great. Yep, look at that. Perfect. So it looks like our fuel predictions are looking really good for the flight. I'll be checking these waypoints every now and then to make sure that we're kind of on track for that, but initially looking good. So I want to thank everybody that showed up for the takeoff. Hope you enjoyed the setup and the departure, all that stuff. I'm going to go ahead and let the relief captain take over now. And I'm probably going to stream the arrival into San Francisco tomorrow. So we're looking at about 12 hours from now. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe so you can get a notification when I go live for that. And I hope you guys have a great evening. So I'm going to go in the crew rest bunk right now. Catch you guys on the next one.